As a mobile DJ, you're always bringing your gear with you. As a traveling DJ, sometimes I do. And guess what? I'm going to tell you the reason why my gear broke while I was traveling. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about why my gear broke while I was traveling. For those who haven't been here before, click subscribe. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Hit me on Instagram. It's Real DJ Yoshi, and DJ Yoshi on Twitter, X, whatever you feel like calling it. Also Real DJ Yoshi on TikTok. If you didn't know, I'm one of the 4 original sports DJs. With that said, the reason why I'm doing this video today is to tell you guys about how my turntables broke. My preferred setup, aside from it being a Rain 4 whenever I'm traveling nice and easy now, prior to that, if I'm doing anything for television that I'm going to be on the big screen or it's going to be broadcast, I always bring turntables. You guys know how expensive turntables are these days, and the cost of maintenance and repair of the turntables is going up even more. You want to know the reason why my turntables broke? It's not because of the TSA, though they broke them twice. The TSA broke my turntables twice, and it took a year for me to get refunded from the TSA. The reason why my turntables broke is because of bad cases. You can see that these have seen their better days. But even though the reason why you buy a case is to protect what's inside the case, here is the reason why these cases, slim turntable cases, broke my turntables. See that? You see that in there? That is the case rubbing against the tone arm every time that they were upright. And I didn't know. You want to know why the case wasn't protecting it properly? Bad foam. You see how this is not dense, it's soft, and sure, it's supposed to be soft enough to have the spindle go in. But I just had these turntables repaired. Shout out to Phil. Thank you so much, DJ Phil. It's actually the person who taught me how to DJ 30-something years ago. The cases that you get from companies like Odyssey, so shout out to John at Odyssey, and thank you so much, John. John actually stepped in after he found out what happened, and he shipped me 4 turntable cases, because that's how many I travel with. Now, this is supposed to have a little bit of give, but there was still a space, so every time this was just getting banged in there. And you could see that eventually it wore the tone arm away. You guys know what anti-skate is, and if you don't know what anti-skate is, basically while the record is spinning, while it's tracking, it's supposed to just stay pretty central. Anti-skate, when you turn it on, it reduces the centripetal force, and as turntablists and DJs, we really don't need it. But there's ball bearings inside there that just slip the tone arm back. This is supposed to be perfectly straight underneath here on this assembly. It started bowing so badly, and I'll put that picture up for you guys, that it curved, and anytime that the needle was on the record, even with anti-skate all the way to 0, it would just smack it all the way back. And I'm being really careful with these because I spent $400 for new tone arms to be put onto these bad boys. So again, thanks, Phil. When it comes down to it, it's your gear. You spend $3,000-$4,000 for your controller or your turntables and your mixer. This is my lesson learned, and I've been traveling for the better part of 25 years. I loved the slim turntable case because its form factor, and I'm not that tall of a person. I'm only 5'7", so I could stack them and they'd be the perfect height to cut and scratch. What a mistake. What a mistake. And the fact that I still spent roughly $300 on these cases to protect a turntable that is, well, when I bought it, it was roughly the same amount. And now you can spend $220 on a case that protects it better than the case that I just took this out of. So shame on me. This is actually the fourth tone arm that I've had to put on, and we couldn't figure it out because I would never bring the cases to Phil. I would just take the turntables out and say, hey, it's been a year. Same thing is happening. This time, for some reason, I decided, you know what? I'm not even taking it out of the case. I got right back from MLB, Little League World Series Classic, and I noticed that the tone arm was starting to slip and smack back to the beginning again. I brought them to Phil, and he noticed that. And when they were inside the case, the foam was so shot that, look at that, he had to put a second piece of foam in there so it wouldn't wobble, and the original piece would smack on top of here and sandwich it just so he could give it back to me. And I could shoot this video. Aside from the years of travel with TSA, I've always paid for them to take the turntable and transport it to the plane. Now you know. And they were still breaking it. But when they were breaking it, they weren't doing anything major, you know? They were like bending the tone arm because they tried to put the case on backwards where the foam was. So again, thank you, Odyssey, and thanks to you guys for tuning into this video. I will never make that mistake again. From now on, anytime that I review a case or I get a case in to use, I'm always checking the foam to make sure that the foam pushes down the controller, the turntable, the mixer, the unit into the case firmly before I lock it up. And if you haven't seen that video of me packing up for one of my sports gigs, link is up there. I'm so disgusted with myself, you know, as a professional. And it's not that I cheaped out, I didn't do my due diligence when I was choosing the turntable case. Anyway, let us know what future topics you guys want me to cover on this series. It's all about golf, music production, and DJing. We're going to post some mixes and how-to tutorials here after I find out what I can post copyright-wise. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Hit subscribe, share the video out, share the channel out, let people know that you're coming in here, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace, y'all. DJ Yoshi.